So, just come back from the Mayday run on the old girl. Just having a fag. Left me mates, so they've all gone the other way. As you can see, she's now not got the tank cover on her. I've took that off, used the tank bag for now, my magnetic one. These bikes run the dream, don't they? I don't know how many other people went down to the Mayday run down here. I've just come up through Ashford onto the A20. So, oh, there comes a load more bikers. Oh, there's been loads of us down there. Been absolutely awesome. But there we go. Oh, get on the old gilt. I've had enough today. Oh, a lot of walking about. But there you go. Oh, all the scooters. How about that, eh? Great, isn't it? Right, anyway, let's go and have a little mooch down the A20 towards Maidstone from Ashford. Nothing coming, there we go, lock on. Push these. Oh sweet, there we go. Go on, in the days back when I was younger. Used to have the old twist and go. Well, would I have another one? Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. I was a mod back in the day. I think most people were. You know, fishtails and that. Get me drain pipes out. Or these pair of like suede shoes. They was cushy. They wouldn't fit me now. I was slim back then. I've since put a little bit of weight on. I could go and join the crew up there. Well, I hope everybody else has enjoyed today. It's a bit, you know, nice day really. I mean, it's showing 17 degrees. Feels a bit muggy, if you know what I mean. But, hey ho, and away we go. Here comes a biker. Go on fella, off you go mate. It's falling down here. I'll follow this lot. They all think I'm with them, won't they? Well, what an awesome, he's put his wing mirror down there. Brilliant. I had quite a few at the top, like the old Lambrettas. I didn't have a Lambretta, yeah, Vespa. I should have bought a Lambretta, I could have done. Well, when I think how much money they're worth now, oh, mega. What's this like doing? I think they're all pulling over, mate. Oh, no, out they all come. Well, that's an 06. Yeah, I think he's got a tent on the back. Ah, they've all been camping it. Fair play. Me and the missus were talking about doing a bit of camping with the old bike, and on the top box I've seen a couple where like you can like get this kind of rack to put on there, and you know, we was looking at like little 2-berth tents, little 2-man tents, and you know, you can get the old sleeping bags and so forth to go on it. Yeah, leave them to their devices. Yeah, so yeah, like I say, I'm going to look at getting this this rack that goes on top of the top box. So obviously, like, I think they come with a template. So you can pre-drill the holes ready, get them in line. I see them on the internet about 48 quid. So not bad money. I was thinking, you know, you could put the, I don't know, sleeping bag up on there or something. I could use the top of the panniers really to strap stuff on. Put stuff in the top box. Clothes obviously in the side, in the bag liners that we've got. And go down through Salisbury, Wiltshire, maybe the Cotswolds, into Cornwall and Devon. Nice. Wouldn't that be cushy? But go on the old gill. Don't sit in no traffic. Straight up the middle, down the outside, to the cars. I said to her like, well, we could go down on a bike, just put some clothes in there in the top box, and jump in some hotels. You know, have a week, 10 days or something down there. Maybe even go halfway down, drop off in Weymouth or something, put up in the Riviera, or the Heights up in Portland there, we've been there a few times. Stay there for the night, get on the bike in the morning, have a bit of breakfast, get on a bike, shed down the rest of it, leave early in the morning, that'd be good. Then you have a little break halfway, don't you? You know, like you come down the A20, you ain't got to rush it, mate, like that. Nice view. In a minute round the bend here we go, it goes down to 50 miles an hour. So you can just have a little pot down here. This is 60 here, so, well, 70, natural speed limit, this bit. I was thinking about getting myself another GSX 1300, you know, I miss my muscle bikes. I've been an avid muscle bike person, if you like, since back in, I'd say towards like mid-late 80s. Well, the Z650, bought the Z-Fair, which was a 1979, what was that, 1979, that was A2 model, Z-Fair, A2. That was on a T-Ridge. Then I bought up in Holston in Norfolk, I went up there and bought a Z1B 1975. Lovely, absolutely gorgeous bike. It was in that metallic kind of blue, absolutely gorgeous. You know, I've seen them bikes going there in the condition mine was, and that had the original exhaust. But I did put on Harris 401 chrome exhaust, but I still had the originals. And that thing you could have ate your dinner off. I mean, when you think about it, what would that be worth now? I've seen them on there for 20 odd grand, mate. Oh, if I kept all the bikes I had back then, and you could buy them for £2, including the cars like the GT6, I've had Capris and Granadas. Oh. You know what? You wouldn't need to work no more. You'd be minted, mate. Minted. Well, could you ever sell them? Don't think I could. I'd still have to work. If I won that lottery, and I do it, me and the missus. So I said, we have to buy somewhere on its own with a bit of land. I'll build a great big like barn type thing, you know, proper place. And I'll just go out, get myself a pickup truck with a 3-bike trailer. I'll be on the internet smacking away, and I'll go out there and I'll buy all the old school bikes. Cost you a bit of money, but you know, you've got if you've got a few million quid, you ain't gonna worry, are you? And you sort of sit to her, we all wish, yeah, it never happened. But God, you know what I'll be like, licking the cream, mate, like a Cheshire cat. But I'll get myself another kettle, the old GT750, because I had one of them. I'll get another Z900, the old 1B, I'll get another Z650, because that's where I started with the Zs, if you like. You know what, the GS850, there was a bit of a pig on the handling, or mine was, but you know what, I mean, that bike just went everywhere. Well, the CB900F, that was a lovely bike, alright. Had to keep doing a few jobs on it, because as fast as much as it was on the road, it was off. But I loved that big old bike. I had what was that Yamaha 750 I had? Oh my God, XS 750. Lovely bike. Well, a CB 400, a 440, 400E. The old Super Sport. Oh, in yellow. Lovely bike. You know, latter years I've had like SNR5s, ZX10s, the ZX10B, the first, right, and so my one had the old like Tiger lady up the all airbrushed up both sides. On the tank here had like little like specks of white, like stars, the grass growing up and that. I see it for sale once, like down in Wiltshire. I phoned up the guy because it was my old bike, and I was very tempted to buy it back. I think it's about 1,200-1,300 quid. Oh, you know what, I wouldn't mind that. Then on and on. When I got back with him, might have been a month or so later, obviously gone, fair play. Then a few years later, and I'm talking maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I see it for sale in South Wales. But it done like a swirly thing on the top, like white swirly thing. I said, who done that? He said, like, someone scratched up all the top of the tank. So we had to get someone to do that, and they done that, like, done it all awful. I said, no, I don't want it back now. It ain't my bike. So, that was a shame. Because I would have brought that back and kept it. Because I wouldn't mind another ZX10. Will I part with this? I've had ZRX 1100s, 1200s, I've had the 1200S as well with the old nose fairing and so forth and that. I've had a few ZRXs. But I've had one custom bike in my life, that was a All-Star. If you look at my other videos, it's on there. Would I have another ZRX? Yes. I'll probably get the 1200R. The old Eddie Lawson. Like that. Well, I do like that one. My missus hates green, but I'm a Kawasaki lover. So I would get another one in, but I prefer a proper Z. I'd even go for another ZXR 750. I've had the H1, H2, and I've had the J. The J that was all blue. The H1 was obviously in the green. Everybody has to have it in green, doesn't it? The H2 was it was like a grey, black and red. when I sold that just before I went up to Anglesey to live for, I was up there for 10 years or more, somewhere like that. But anyway, I kind of like wished I kept that. At the time, the old alternator went on it, so I had that all done, but because it weren't doing a charge or nothing. Stonking bike, wish I kept that old girl. Oh, and I guess all you old school bikers out there like me, I mean I'm 57 this year, you know exactly where I'm coming from. These modern bikes, they're lovely, don't get me wrong, and they are probably a lot, I wouldn't say more reliable. I mean, like my Zeds, I put more electronic ignitions, coils and that on them, so that made the reliability 1000% better. And trust me, I went everywhere on that. I mean, you Z1P, we went up the Isle of Wight, back across into the New Forest camping, down into the other side of Weymouth, Bridport. I remember going down there, me and the missus, had a lovely time out on that Z, and she purred like a kitten, all that way. I took it up to the racetrack up at Bramsell, Festival of 1,000 Bikes, back in like, what are we talking here, mid-90s, and I remember taking her around the track. Yeah, good. I mean, 5-speed box on the old Zeds, but God, did they pull like the train in every gear. You know, beautiful, mate, absolutely gorgeous. But like I say, I did take off the originals and put an Aris 4-1 on it, and that actually really did perform and sound lovely. Put a Lawson seat on it, took the old 2.4 off it, put a Lawson on there, a couple of other little tiny bits and pieces. You know, you kind of make them personal, don't you? It's like, oh, my bike. I brought the handlebars back a bit, so you had that kind of stance, you know. But I remember putting it back to standard because it was a bit like, oh, and your arms are flared out kind of thing, and you was pulled a little tiny bit. Like, can you imagine, there's a fair few bikers out there who've had a Z. I've seen a few come up cheap, around about 8 grand, 10 grand. I say cheap when you kind of think, gosh, I could go and buy a 900 RS for that, like, you know, but for me, I love all bikes, don't get me wrong, and they bought out a Z900 RS, didn't they? This RS, it's basically like a take on of a Z, a bit like the old Zephyrs when they came out, like, it's a copy of a Z in a way, but it's not a Z, not what I call the Z anyway. Would I have a 900 RS? Of course, I love them, but if I had 10 grand to go and buy another bike like that, I think I'd rather go and buy, even if it was an import, a KZ, and obviously I want a UK spec if I could get it, or even a Z-Fair LTD. I've had one of them and all. You know what? That was a lovely bike to ride. Comfortable, big king and queen seat on it, so she loved it on the back. But you've got their Z engine, you've got their Z sound. They've got a sound of their own. And they had a Kirker exhaust on it. It was a Kirker, so it was a little bit throaty. Lovely. And I wish I didn't get rid of it, because that was actually, with the seating position, with the Cowlin bars on there coming back, how can you knock it, eh? Well, I should sit back there like that, down the motorway, down the lanes, that you pull up places, and everybody's like, oh, look at that Z, I could kick myself now. I was a mug. And I never had to sell them. It weren't nothing to do with the money. I had a bit of money. So nothing to do with that, just being an idiot. I think when I sold that, I went out and bought a GPZ 900 RX. Lovely bike. Stonking, you know. Then I see the ZX10B, but nah, you know what, I want one of them. So I bought that. And then they bought out the ZZR1100, which kind of took over from the ZX10B. Oh, I want one of them. When I bought that. Then, where did I go for then? Oh, I can't remember. I've had ZZR600s. I even had a kettle, believe it or not, and people know that I'm on about here, that's the old 600 there. And I lived damn right, and I was working in Sittingbourne. That was my commuter. But I tell you what, it's done about 180, 160, 180 miles to the tank, maybe a little touch more. What, that reserve. I mean, for like 50 miles a day, 50 miles to work, 50 miles home, it was absolutely astounding. And that bike, I never cleaned it, nothing. All I'd done was a bit of a service on the old girl, petrol, tyres obviously. But every morning, hit that button, off to work. Finish work, hit the button, off home. And never let me down. Never let me down. But it never really looked dirty. It was blue, like a dark blue. With the old gold ring wheels, they used to get a bit mucky, and now and then I treated her like to a little bit of a wet sponge, just to get a little bit of grease off from the old like chain flick and the muck about. But that's about all I ever done. Didn't do no more. Look at that, it's only a short distance on the motorway, but I'll tell you what, you plod along. I'm even stuck behind this old man. But you know, it's like, I know I've got the power there, and I know that these things can move. They're stonking, mate. But you don't want to. All you want to do is like, plod. Just plod along. And even with a full tank on these, when you're moving, you don't feel the weight. When you're sitting still, they're heavy. And if you've got it filled up, they are a bit top heavy. I have to say that. I've noticed like a few people on the internet, like, I've got my bike and that and this, that and the other. Well, I understand exactly where you're coming from, lads. I've had this go nearly on me a few times. I've been quite lucky. Touch wood, where I've managed to save it before it went too far. It went out, the last time it went I was in the garden, but I didn't realise when I went to put the stand down by my bike shed, I didn't realise I was right where this bit of a dip is. So, right, you can imagine what happened. I put the stand down, got to put her on it, oh, she's going over. Oh my God. So I managed to like get off and she's like this, but not on the floor. Right, but she's down there. And I managed to get my leg off, holding it, and like kind of get out of it, oh my God, and lift it back up. Blimey, they are a dead weight when they get past that point of no return, you know. Well, no one there, no one was home anyway. Oh, I got to get her up, so leave that bugger. Got her up, and I'll tell you what I say, I was lucky. And I know, and my heart goes out to anybody who's had a bike go over. It is not nice. I've had bikes in the past go in the early days. But these things, like, you know what, mate? You lot must be like Arnie. And fair play for getting them baggers off the floor. Bill for you. Not good. But here we are anyway. I'm nearly back home, back in the Midway. So, hope everybody's had a good day. Anybody's been out there or that you've enjoyed yourselves. We mates have. But I'll tell you what, have a nice one. Back to work tomorrow. But it pays me petrol days out and everything else that goes with it. Oh, let's get out of here. Someone's broken down on the inside lane. Ah, that's not nice. Oh, you know what? That kind of reminds me. As much as I think these are reliable bikes, and they are, they're stonking, they don't mean to say nothing will ever happen. Nothing's bulletproof in life. And I do have to look into getting some breakdown cover on the old girl. Peace of mind. Because I ain't got none. Now I'm with Bennett's with my insurance. Well, I know when I took it out they said did I want it, and I went nah, it'll be alright, and go local majority of the time, but sometimes I just go away out the way. So yeah, that's me next port of call, and I'm going to put a private plate on it. I've looked on the internet, I found one alright, 599 quid. But also I'll put it on the car, I won't put it on the bike. Well, I did say to the missus I'm going to do both. So my birthday's in August, so I'm going to do a little early treat, because obviously on the DVLA site, you know, it includes the VAT and the transfer fee. So you just pay it, on that, but done. So that's what I'm going to do. And I might well put it on here. So, and then I'll get another one, like, for the car, or vice versa. But anyway, that's me done, I'm off, so catch you all later. Hope you enjoyed the scenery as I've been going along. All these bikers like floating about. My arm's getting a bit achy now, and my neck, like I keep nodding to people and waving and alright. There's been too many people out today, it's giving me neck ache. Anyway, happy days all, catch you later, have a nice one. Ta.